Notre Dame locker room is open until 9:15. Joining us on the dais now is head coach Muffet McGraw, Taya Reimer, Jewel Lloyd, and Madison Cable. We're going to jump into questions for the student athletes right now. We'll start right here in the front.
Madison, take us through that play on the basket.
Well, I mean, Jewel shot it, which is usually it goes in almost all the time. But I was just crashing anyway to try to get a rebound, and it kind of just bounced right where I was. And I turned around and had an open shot, so I took it. Luckily, it went in.
Right here.
Michelle Smith, ESPNW. Taya, can you talk about the front court play that you guys had tonight? I mean, there might have been a lot of people that thought South Carolina's big team. They might have an advantage there, and you guys, especially early in the game, really took it to them.
We knew that they were a really good team inside, that they get a lot through their interior play. So our game plan was really just to try to contain that and try to shut them down, and on the offensive side, just attack them. So I think that we did a pretty good job of that, especially in the first half. And then, I mean, at the end of the game, it just came down to trying to contain them and get rebounds.
A question right back here.
Madison, your guys' transition offense was very solid tonight. What helped you guys play so well in the front court and pushing the ball?
I mean, that's something that we try to do every game, and we work on in practice and stuff. So, I mean, our guards did a really good job looking up and finding the streaking post or whoever it was down the court.
Michelle?
Jewel, you guys went a long time without a basket at the end of the game there. Can you just talk about what it was like out there? Did you feel like you guys were starting to tighten up a little bit?
Yeah, I think so. But it happens, you know. But we knew it's all about defense and getting stops, and we battled. And we looked at each other and we were like, "Let's go. We need to stop." You know, we knew that shots aren't always going to fall. I'm not going to get calls, whatever it was. But defense, that's something that we can control.
Question back here.
For Jewel and Taya, can you guys talk about the very last play, their play, and what you saw and the defense you played on that particular play?
Yeah, we knew that they were going to have the ball in Tiffany's hands, and they had basically like a choice screen up top, and whichever way she came off, we were going to double her. And she went back and forth a couple of times, and then she came over to my side, and Hannah and I trapped her, and Hannah, great block, and kept the ball in play, which allowed more time to come off the clock, and we both were there to contest. So it was just great team defense all around.
Yeah, the guards did a great job of containing Mitchell up top and not really letting her get a good shot off. And I think me and Catherine were just trying to stay back and try to get it if she tried to pass into the post, or if she shot it, just get a rebound. So.
Question in the very back from Richard.
Yeah, for any of the players, can you give us a sense of just how difficult it is for what Hannah Huffman did to come in 14 minutes cold and to defend on, maybe the biggest play of the season? Just those of us, obviously you guys, you may not have been in that situation, but you certainly can relate to what you have to do mentally to sort of perform there.
Do you want to take that, Jewel?
Yeah, when you have a player like Hannah Huffman who's so passionate and she's so motivated, she was ready. She was like, okay, I got this, and we had belief in her, and we knew that she was going to, help us whatever she needs to do, whether, get a steal, deflection, she was going to do it. So, Hannah, that's what she does for us.
Question right here in the front.
Madison, this looked like these were your only 2 points. You ever hit a bigger basket in your life?
Somebody already asked me that, and thinking back, I really don't think so. So I guess it's a good time to get my 2 points for the game.
We have time for one more for the student athletes. Follow up right here.
For any of the players, you've been on the doorstep before here with a chance to win titles. I mean, does a night like that make you think we're going to close the deal this time?
You have to stay motivated. You have to think like you're going to win. If you think like, oh, we're just here just to have fun, like, but we're motivated, and, we're enjoying this, and we're going to enjoy this night, and live it up for sure, and refocus tomorrow.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
They'll be available in the locker room until 9:15. We'll continue with questions for Coach McGraw right here.
Thank you. Muffet, will you talk about your front court play with Turner and Reimer tonight?
I thought Bree and Taya really played well, especially in the first half. They were 8 for 11. We talked about at halftime. We needed to get them the ball more. I thought we had more opportunities to do that. and weren't quite as successful. We came out with a plan to go inside. Then Jewel got hot, and we kind of changed the plan a little bit and went to Jewel a little bit more. But, you know, they battled. They battled. We didn't get as many rebounds as we wanted to, but I thought they played hard.
Richard in the front.
Muffet, can you take us through the last possession defensively, what your thinking was and philosophy was for that?
Well, we had the timeout, so we were able to talk about what was going to happen. We thought that Mitchell would get the ball, and there would probably be a ball screen involved. So we talked about how important it was going to be, because we were still in the triangle and two at that point. So we talked about how important it was going to be for the person to come out and hedge on the ball screen. And I thought that was probably as good a hedge as we've had. But when I looked down the bench, Michaela Mabry, not as well known for her defense, so we wanted to get a better defender in. And Hannah Huffman's somebody that played earlier in the game. She guarded Mitchell, did a great job on her, and so we wanted to give her that opportunity.
Back. Question over here in the back.
Can you walk us through the final play going without a timeout in your final offensive possession?
Well, what we work on as we're going to rebound and go, and if we have something, we're obviously going to take it, and if we don't have something, then we'll take the timeout from there. So I thought Jewel had a kind of a clear path. We set the high ball screen for her, and it was a great shot, and Maddie came out of nowhere to get the rebound.
Question over here.
Muffet, you know they're going to get their points inside. They're going to try to get their points inside, but they only had a couple three-pointers and a couple mid-range jumpers. Can you just say how much your defensive game plan factored into that?
Well, I'm not sure if you can say they have a weakness, but we thought that pick your poison, we were going to let them take jumpers. Sessions hit the three in the first half, but we weren't going to deviate from the game plan. We were giving up pretty much everybody except for Mitchell and Roy when she came in the game. So we tried to pack it in on their posts, which they still did a really great job of scoring against us. But, you know, we went triangle two, we went box and one, we went 1-2-2, played a couple possessions of man-to-man, played a little 2-3. I mean, we were throwing everything but the kitchen sink at them, trying to figure out a way to stop them.
Question back there.
Muffet, you haven't had to get much from your bench this season and even tonight, but to have the game-winning shot and then a key play on defense come from subs in the last minute, just want to ask you about the confidence you had in those two in those moments.
Yeah, our bench has been terrific all year long. I mean, I thought Madison Cable was the best sixth man in the league. She didn't win the award, but she was so key in so many games for us, plays a lot of minutes for us. Catherine Westbeld comes in, gives us great minutes in the post. And Hannah Huffman, starting with the ACC season, has really, really come along. She's done a lot of great things for us defensively. Her job is not to score. It's just to bring energy, rebound, set screens, and take charges and play defense. And so I have a lot of confidence in all of those players. And Hannah, I think the biggest play of the game, you know, to put her in, I think I told her, I trust you, and I have confidence in you.
Question back there.
On day one of practice, it's always the goal, but did you see this group with the changeover getting into a national final?
I did not. I remember thinking that and telling the team, we lost 40% of our offense, 40% of our rebounds, and 40% of our assists. We really were a very different team, a very young team. We did not have, we didn't know who the leader was going to be. We really struggled early on with communication with a lot of little things, and I thought the staff tried to keep it simple. You know, we tried not to overwhelm them with things, but the freshmen are going to be overwhelmed anyway. So I would say for us to be at this point right now is a really, I think we overachieved to get here.
Question in front, Richard.
Muffet, she obviously fouled out with a couple minutes to go, but when Brianna Turner was on the court at times, she was the best player on the court. How much of a glimpse did people who watched her tonight get in terms of what she can become over the next couple of years?
Yeah, she has amazing talent, and she just wants to learn. She's a hard worker at practice, but she can run the floor. I think that's one of her greatest strengths. She can block shots. She can rebound. She can finish around the basket. I thought for her first Final Four, played extremely well defensively and offensively. And I know if you asked her, she'd probably say she didn't play very well, but I'm just so happy with her potential and where she's going to be.
Any more questions for Coach? Yep, right back there.
Coach, you talked about their depth and how much that might cause trouble for you. When Wilson came off the bench and Kels came off the bench and they started coming back, were you worried that you might not have enough in the tank in the second half when they came off the bench again in the second half?
Yeah, their bench is really good. Probably they could start any of the 8 people that they play a lot. And that was our big worry. You know, we wanted to start out the game with kind of packing it in and seeing how that looked first. And then when they came in with Wilson, you know, we tried to stay on her left hand. We weren't overly successful with it. I thought we probably would have changed the game plan looking back on it, maybe deny a little bit more, but she is a tremendous talent.
One final question down here in the front.
Yeah, Muffet, the cameras were on you at the end of the game. You did a little bit of, I don't know if you know that, you did a little bit of a dance, and you sort of, your face sort of like appeared like maybe you were even surprised at how the last 14 seconds or maybe even the last minute played out. Can you just take us through what you were thinking during that last possession?
Well, I was surprised how the last minute 13 played out. When Lindsay fouled out, I thought we might be in a little bit of trouble. So we told Jewel, you're going to have to run the point. You're going to have to take over the ball. We're going to have to do it on defense. We're going to have to rebound. When they took the lead, you know, I wasn't sure how things were going to end up for us because you never know if we're going to be able to have that resilience that we needed at that point without our point guard. So I was just amazed. I think Maddie makes a great play, and then we get a great defensive stop. So, yeah, I was pretty happy after that one.
Thank you, Coach. I expect, and I was out in the hall talking to a friend. I'm like, oh, I see the players coming up on the podium. I'm like, I gotta go.